This is Moonbrooke. It will be destroyed in about 2 minutes. A peaceful talk.
Buy me this! Buy me that! I want 3 Staff of Thunders and then 2 Waterfly Claws! Come on, Daddy! Buy me! Buy me!
Sorry, Princess. Those bugs have been fixed in this version of the game.
What's going on? It's terrible! It's terrible!
It is terrible. Hargon. Hargon, Hargoing, Hargon.
But I want my Staff of Thunder!
Get in the damn dungeon! Send the ravens! King, you killed all the ravens. Yes. Die, you Targaryen cunts! Ha! I took my warhammer and smashed Rhaegar in the chest. They call it the Ruby River now. Oh shit, ran out of magic. Where's my wizard's ring? Burn them all. Yeah, it's too bad they can't go underground like Figaro Castle in Final Fantasy VI. Should have sent those ravens. Hargon, Hargon, no one should terrify all neighborhoods. But Hargon just won't be outdone, killing and pillaging everyone. There's a race to be on top, the random battles never stop. Who'll stop Hargon's evil rule? And let's play Dragon Warrior 2. His gang will reign supreme, and no one can deny the childhood misery of game overs by defeat and sacrifice. So join in the jubilee. This game is great, you'll all agree. You'll find in each calamity this game's superiority. Yeah, I couldn't think of an Eminem reference with that Evil Deeds. Was that his second album or his third album? I can't remember. Yeah, I'm gonna just walk off to die, just passing that inn where I can heal up and recover all my strength. I must die for my country. Wrong answer, buddy. You're not supposed to die for your country. You're supposed to make the enemy die for their country. What you're doing is just, well, being a fool. Evil God. There is only one God, and that is death. Death and Malroth, of course. So instead of the king sending thousands of troops to take on Hargon, he's gonna send out his son, Stannis the Mannis, to take on Hargon's troops. Pretty good odds, if I do say so myself. Yeah, you might want to burn that body. See if I can steal his weapon and his armor. He's not going to be using it. Cabin Minister looks a little bit like Heidegger from Final Fantasy VII. That Yahaha guy. Oh, I forgot I could just press X to open up chests in this game. And we got 50 gold. And a copper sword. I see we have a pretty cheap king here in Midenhall. Alright. Well, it's better than Dragon Warrior 1 where, well, you pretty much just get nothing. Yeah, you might want to do that. Just go to your status, equip. If it has an E next to it, means you have it equipped. Too easy. Leftwyne, that's the next area we need to head to. Can't we get to all those chests there? That's probably where they have all the Valyrian steel swords. All the king gave me was a copper sword and 50 gold, but we can't head in those doors yet. We need the golden key and the silver key to get through those doors. And that little portal down there, don't worry about it. It doesn't lead to anything yet. And in this version of the game, yeah, they don't censor God. Unlike the previous NES version. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I love you, but I'm a whore. Yeah, we can't get to those doors either, so don't worry about it. Let's talk to the fat boy over here. What do you have to say? I already know that. I played this game before. Should have sent those ravens. This is a dog? Yeah. The inn, I figured, you already know what the inn is. Recover your health, MP. And I don't have enough money to buy almost anything. I want to get the leather shield, but we have a cheap king, so with 50 gold, a copper sword, and a giant bag of onions, Stannis the Mannis sets out to save the world. And let's play Dragon Warrior / Dragon Quest II for the Super Famicom, Super Nintendo. Just like Iron Sword and Little Ninja Brothers, another game that made me want to rip the hair out of my nostrils when I was a kid, but this version is a lot more balanced than its NES counterpart, which was as unbalanced as a fat kid on a fucking seesaw. Well, then it wouldn't be called a seesaw, would it? It'd be probably called a catapult. Oh boy, I sure did show those slimes. About 3 hours later, I figured I'd spare you the torture that is level grinding. And I already got to level 3 and already got enough money to buy that leather shield. So we're all set and ready to head toward Leftwyne. And also, some of the battle mechanics have changed, but for now, it's basically the same because, well, Stannis, he doesn't have any magic, and I'm going the wrong fucking way. So basically, all I'm doing is just mashing the attack button. And here's our first enemy, the slime, and the big slug, the most basic enemy in Dragon Warrior. Slime gone quick. Yeah, you get to level 3 and these enemies are pretty much cake. That's why I didn't want to sit there for like 10-15 minutes just killing slimes. That's just a waste of recording. Stay away from the poison swamps, they're bad. And also, the difference between Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 is that you fight enemies in groups, and you see there the iron ants. You can't really target the iron ant that you want to fight, you have to target the group, and Stannis will just attack a random one in the group. It's pretty annoying, but, well, you get used to it after a while. And I can pretty much one-shot all these enemies now at level 3. And this is the town of Leftwyne, or Leftwyne. For the item shops, medical herbs restore about 30 HP. Antidote herbs. They cure poison, and the Wing of the Wyvern, just like in the last Dragon Warrior game. If you use it in the overworld, it'll take you back to the last area you saved. I already said that. Little typo there in the grammar. I'm sorry for disturbing your date. Yeah, your father's probably dead. So enjoy your date and the funeral. What's this guy doing over here? I guess there's no bathrooms here in Dragon Warrior country, I guess. Can't go through that door there yet until you get the silver key. What I do want to do is get the chain sickle and the chain mail. I'm gonna have to do some gold grinding in between episodes. The magic knife, that's for the princess. I won't buy that till later on. The chain sickle and chain mail I want to buy mostly for the Prince of Cannock. For myself, I'm pretty good with the copper sword for most of the first part of this game. Well, until I get to Moonbrooke, of course. Yeah, he's probably dead too. And they don't even give you an option of yes or no. And in here, if you hit the search button, you get a lottery ticket. You really can't do nothing with it now because we can't open up the lottery office because we need the silver key. And, oh, come on, get out of the way. Really? Get out of the fucking way! Get out of the way! Oh god, that's the toughest enemy I'll probably fight in this episode. Anyways, what I'm gonna do with the lottery ticket is, new to this game, you can have the vault, where you can store all your items. So just in case if your your inventory is full, you can just stuff all your garbage in there. You can deposit gold too. So in case if you die or whatnot, you can come back to the vault. You won't lose half your gold. Also, another major change to the battle mechanics in this version, I believe also the Game Boy Color version as well, is the defend command. In the NES version, defending just cuts physical attacks in half, but in this version, defending cuts physical and magical attacks in half, so yeah, that can be pretty useful late in game. Defending against nasty exploded magic attacks and breath attacks by dragons. Sorry about that, I clicked outside the box. There we go. And also between this episode and the next, I want to get to level 7. Mostly because Stannis' strength, his strength stat increases by 9, so yeah, so I could pretty much one-shot every enemy in the next 2 dungeon areas. Yeah, that's even in the NES version, you'll get that stat boost. But unlike the NES version, I don't think you can meet with this guy here, but he sells the same thing you can buy in Leftwyne. So I guess it'll pretty much save you a walk, but yeah, it's not really that important. These losers over here, they're in jail. I'm not going to talk to them yet. That treasure chest, we won't be able to get that for a while, so don't worry about it. Mind your manners. Manners? What are these manners? Let me tell you something really good. Your game just crashed. Yay! Now. Alright, so basically now we gotta find the Prince of Cannock. So I guess they did send those ravens. And the Spring of Bravery is the next area we need to head to, but first I'm gonna get to level 7 and get the chain sickle and the chain mail before doing all that. No, Norton Antivirus. Thanks for the update, but not now. We need to head to the Spring of Bravery first. Now, so what I'm going to do now is take a pause break. I'm going to do my level grinding off screen, get all my gold, get to level 7, and seek out his son, Cain. Alright, about 5,000 Drakies later, Stannis rose to level 7. And you see that strength increased by 9. It's amazing. And also, enemies see they drop the treasure chest, and we can get a medical herb. Yeah, I've gotten a ton of those medical herbs, so you really don't need to buy any, because the enemies will drop them pretty easily if you just sit around here and kill iron ants and drakies and crap. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to end the episode here, and next time on Let's Play Dragon Warrior 2, we head toward the Spring of Bravery. Not before we fight 2 wild mice and a Drakey. Goodbye, Drakey. Goodbye, wild mouse. Cowards. And here's a crude map of the first part of the overworld I'll be going through in the next few episodes. The text is probably small, so I'll just put annotations in. We'll be heading toward the Spring of Bravery and then the Lake Cave to get the Silver Key, and then south to Moonbrooke. And also the names of the Prince of Cannock and the Princess of Moonbrooke are different depending on your name, but in this version you can actually change the names to whatever you want, though. When the children of Midenhall go to sleep, they check under their beds for Hargon. Before Hargon goes to sleep, he checks under his bed for Lord Stannis on Let's Play Dragon Warrior 2. As you see, I bought the chainmail for Stannis, and don't bother buying the chain sickle for Stannis. He can pretty much take care of all the enemies in this area. And as you can see, all the medical herbs that were generously donated by the enemies around this area, so you really don't need to buy them at this point. I think I've shown this Drakey off before, and he's going to be gone in one shot. Goodbye, Drakey. Yeah, the Copper Sword is pretty good now, but eventually I'm going to get something better later. Yeah, you saw there, the Drakey's group didn't see you. That's pretty much a preemptive strike, and the interesting thing about the preemptive strikes in this game, if you run from a battle that has a preemptive strike, it's almost guaranteed that you will run, so yeah, you can use that as a strategy. I'll probably use that strategy later on in the game. Right now, I'll just fight, because these enemies are pretty much cake. And in the last episode, one of the NPCs said we need to head to the Spring of Bravery, and the Spring of Bravery is toward the northeast of this continent. Yeah, I would say stay out of the desert, but there's really no way to stay out of it. Just like in Dragon Warrior 1, here we have a new enemy, the Babel. Yeah, you could have fought those around the Cannock area. Yeah, just be careful of those. You want to kill the Babels first, because they can poison you. Although poison in this game is really not that lethal, it works sort of like the swamps. You'll lose a fair amount of HP with every, I think, 4 or 5 steps. Really has no impact in battle, so don't worry about it that much. It's more of an annoyance, really. And here's the Spring of Bravery. Yeah, I love the remix music in the dungeons in this game. And here you just fight the same enemies that you'll fight outside. Iron ants and wild mouse. Big slugs and usual rinky-dink enemies that you fight around the Cannock area. Yeah, these wild mice are pretty resistant to attacks. Like to dodge a lot, but they don't do that much damage, so don't worry about it. And down there, that just leads to, I think that's a medical herb. I'm going to bypass that because my inventory is nearly full. What I'll do is, fast forward to this battle. What I'll do is when I do my backtracking out of this area off screen, I'll just pick it up then. And also for the record, I won't be doing that much level grinding in this game. Most of the grinding in this game I'll be doing is for gold, of course, or for a certain spell I want to learn. Because gold grinding in this game is pretty much mandatory because, well, you need the weapons and the armor to survive. And as coming around this area, it just leads to gold. I think it's about 85 to 90 gold. Just that once I get out of here, I do want to buy the chain sickle and the chain mail for the Prince of Cannock when I recruit him, because he's going to be pretty weak, and I don't feel like just defending with him until he gets to a decent level where he can stand up on his own. Yeah, that area just leads to gold. I'll come back and pick up that medical herb. To the right there, just a dead end, so don't worry about it. Same just rinky-dink monsters. It's really not worth, oh, you dropped the treasure chest and yeah, we get another medical herb. Yeah, I might as well put that to use. Full on inventory space here. And we're almost here. It's not really a long dungeon. Yeah, it's pretty much the quote-unquote beginner dungeon of this game. Goodbye, iron ants. Another treasure chest. And another medical herb. I'll put that to use now. Just more of the same enemies. Iron ants. Mice. And it's the guy we need to talk to. Yes, we are. Oh, okay, so I'll probably head to Midenhall. Yeah, I will do that off screen. There's another enemy I wanted to show off here, but he didn't show up yet. Oh, there he is, the big cobra. Yeah, it's a pretty rare encounter in this little area, but he can be gone. Destroy him in one hit. He can poison you just like the Babel, so just be careful. Thinking this treasure chest just leads to an antidote herb. Yeah, it's an antidote herb, so what I'm going to do now is I'm on off-screen the backtracking. I'll probably do a little gold grinding so I can get that chain sickle and chainmail for the Prince of Cannock when I recruit him. And I'll meet you back in Midenhall. Alright, we're back right outside of Midenhall Castle. See if the Prince of Cannock is here. I severely doubt it. Knowing the Prince of Cannock, he's probably at one of the inns and brothels getting himself a puff-puff massage. What do you mean there's no one in front of me, stupid game? Yeah, he's pretty much telling you to go back to Cannock, but I'm not going to do that. I already know where he's at. Yeah, he's in Leftwyne, and that's where I'll meet you at. I'll off-screen the backtracking, the retracking, I guess. And I'll meet you there in Leftwyne. Alright, we're back here in Leftwyne. Yeah, don't bother going to Cannock Castle. He's not there. And there's also an interesting bug. If you don't talk to the King of Cannock, if you go straight here and recruit him. I'll probably show that off in the next episode. Yeah, there's also another bug with the Prince of Cannock, but that's not until much later in the game. I'll show that off. Alright, we get our second party member. You see, he starts off at level 1, so yeah, obviously he's pretty weak. And he said he's a paladin, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that club and the clothes. Well, he has leather armor. Yeah, I can see the King of Cannock is a lot cheaper than the King of Midenhall. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that club, leather armor. So he can survive somewhat in battle. If you don't want to buy that stuff, you could just use the defend command, but I don't want to do that. That's just pretty annoying. Yeah, I'm going to sell that leather armor in the club. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to change the names of the Prince of Cannock and the Princess of Moonbrooke in this game. I don't think you could do that. No, you can't do that in the NES version or the Game Boy Color version. But you can change the names of the Prince of Cannock and the Princess of Moonbrooke in this game. In this version, I believe. In this version, I mean. But first, we're going to save our game. Before that, I'm going to show off a interesting battle mechanic. I didn't mention. Unlike the NES version, if I have both characters attack the same enemy, and let's say Stannis kills that enemy, then the Prince of Cannock will just auto-target another random enemy. You know, it's like in the regular Final Fantasy games, not the old ones, but, you know, he won't just swing and a miss like in the NES version. The attack won't be, won't be wasted. That's another thing what they did to improve the battle mechanics of this game. Because I really hated that in the NES version. Like say one character kills that enemy and if you already targeted that same enemy, and he'll just say, oh, you just hit dead air, I guess, like in the original Final Fantasy 1 for the NES. That's pretty fucking annoying. And also, later on in this game, Prince of Cannock will get attack magic. Yeah, right now he just comes with the heal spell. And let's say Stannis attacks an enemy, they target the same character, Stannis attacks and Kain uses a magic spell, and Stannis kills that enemy, then Kain, he won't use magic on the next enemy, he'll just attack the next enemy, so the attack still won't be wasted. Yeah, that's another thing that they improved with this version. Also with attacking the same enemy 9 times out of 10, let's say if Stannis attacked that Iron Ant right there and he's still alive, most likely the Prince of Cannock will attack that same enemy in that group. Most of the time, but not all the time though. But now we want to head back to Midenhall. Kain should be able to take care of that slime. Alright, good job. It's too bad the whips don't attack a whole group like in Dragon Quest III for the Super Nintendo. But we take what we can get. Alright, we're back in Midenhall. Again. Yeah, let's just speed that up there. Now, how to change the name for your other characters, you're going to have to save, because you're going to have to reset the game. It only needs 26 experience. I also want to get him to level 5 or 6, because Prince of Cannock, because he can learn the antidote spell at that level. I'll probably do that in between episodes. Now what you want to do is you want to reset your game. You have to go through all this nonsense. And just go to where it says continue an adventure. Oh, I forgot about the title screen. Alright. Continue an adventure. Go to the file you want to change your name at. Hold left and the start button and then press A. And you can change the name of the Prince of Cannock. Well, let's see, he's short on strength, can't equip heavy armor, and spends most of his times in inns and brothels, but witty and high on intelligence. Lord Tyrion of House Cannock. You marry him, your father will condone you. Now how about now, you marry Stannis, your father will disown you. He'll eat his hat now. And also to change the names of the Prince of Cannock and the Princess of Moonbrooke, you actually have to have them recruited in your party, so yeah, I couldn't have changed the Prince of Cannock's name until now. Let's just speed up through here. And also what I want to do is I want to show off a little bug. I'll probably show that off, and at the end of this, yeah, I still have time, so I'll show that now. If you don't talk to the Prince of... Oh. Well, I guess I won't be showing that off now, so I'll save that for the next episode because Fraps is acting like craps. Alright, sorry about the snafus with the technical difficulties there. Yeah, this Fraps is just being a real jerk today. Must be the Hargon's curse, or Sin's toxin, or the mist, but... Anyways, in the next episode, I'll get Tyrion to level 5 or 6 so he can learn Antidote, and then we'll head towards the Lake Cave to the west and get the Silver Key, and then south towards Moonbrooke to find the princess. Next time on Let's Play Dragon Warrior 2.